Hey guys, welcome to the next video on Redis tutorial for beginners. And in this video we will learn how we can use sorted sets in Redis. So first of all, what are sorted sets? So Redis sorted sets are similar to the Redis sets with a unique feature that their members can be sorted. Now every member of a sorted set is associated with a score, and based on this score their members can be sorted, right? So you can see in this diagram the Redis key will remain the same as other patterns, but here you can see a score here. So you can define a score. For example, I will define a score 100 and then the value associated with the score. So the value associated with the score is value 2, and this is our member of a set. And there is a new feature in the sorted set, which is this score, right? So you can define a score, and with this score you can define a member or a value associated with it, and then on the basis of that we can sort the members of our set, right? So let's see in practical how it works. So I'm going to open my Redis CLI. So the first command we are going to learn here is zadd, and the zadd is used to create a set if it doesn't exist, or add a member to this set if it already exists, right? So every command in sorted set will start with this character zadd, and then whatever its function is, the function name, for example, right? So zadd, and then the key name, for example my set1, and the score, so score is 1, and the value associated with it. So value, for example, you want to associate it with the score 1 is A, right? In a similar way we can define multiple score members here. So score and the value associated with it, 2 and B. For example, 3 is the third score, and the value we want to associate with it is C, and then they need not be in order. So score can be 5 now, and the value can be D here, right? Or any other value, right? And then press enter, and you can see 4 members are inserted in the sorted set. Now to get the members of a sorted set, you use zadd and then range command, okay, as we have seen in the sets also. And then what is your key name? For example, my set1, and then starting value and the end value, as we have seen in the case of sets also. So in the case of sets we have seen that 0 and -1 are going to give all the values in the set, right? So press enter, and you can see here all the values are printed here. Now you can see here the values are printed, not the scores associated with them, right? So for example, I once again write zadd, and then set1, my set1, and then for example I can just give score 100 here, and then the value is E here, right? And then press enter, and once again I will just give zadd range my set1, and then you can see all the values here, or all the members here, but these are not the scores, these are just ordered number. Now if you want to know how many number of members are there in our set, we can use zadd card here, okay, and the key name, for example my set1, and then press enter, and I can see that there are 5 members in my sorted set, right? Now in order to get the count of members in the sorted set with the scores within the given range, we use zadd count, okay, and then the key name, so my set1, and the minimum and the maximum score value here. So for example I want to get 1, 2, 3 here, okay, and then press enter, and then it's going to count the number of values between this range, right? So for example I will just write 1 to 5 here, and values are 4, because in between score 1 and score 5, there are 4 values including those scores. Now I can just write 1 to 50 here, or 55, and still it's going to give us 4 values, number of values, because the last score we have associated here is 100. So when we write here 101 here and then press enter, then only it's going to give us 5 values. And let's say we can give 99 here, still it gives the 4 values. So the Z count is going to take the score values, and then depending upon the score values, it's going to give you the number of values in between these scores. Now let me clear the terminal, and to remove any member from a set, you use ZREM, and then the key name my set and the member. So the member here will be the member value, so not the score but the member. So for example, I want to remove the member B, so I can just give the value of member B and then press enter, and once again I will just give this ZRange command, and now it's giving the same answer because I haven't given the right key name, so I must give ZM my set 1 here, right? And then it gives integer 1, that means the command is successful, and once again the range, and now you can see the value is removed from here. Now if you want to determine the index of a member in a sorted set, you use zrank here. So just give zrank command and then my set 1 and the member name, so for example D here, and then press enter, and it's going to give you the index of this D, right? So the index starts from 0, so 0 1 2, right? For example, I want to see the index of E here, and it's going to give me the index 3, and for example for member A, the index is 0. Now there is a zrevrank command also, so you can just write zrevrank here, and this is the reverse rank, right? So the rank will be sorted according to the score. So highest score is the 0th index, right? And then the lowest score is the maximum index. Okay, so for example my set 1 and then the member name, for example E, is the rank 0 here, right? Because index of E is the highest rank. Rank is 100 for E, right? And it's the biggest rank, that means the index for it will be 0 because we are printing the reverse rank here. Okay, for example, you want to see the index of A, it will be 3 because it's in reverse order. Now the last command I'm going to show you here is zscore command. Okay, and then I can give the key name and the member name. So for example, I will give the member A and then press enter. It's going to give me the score value of this member, right? So for example, I want to see the score of member E and press enter. It's going to give me 100 because score associated with E was 100, right? And for example, this value doesn't exist in our sorted set. For example, I just added or given the random value here and then press enter. It's going to return the nil value which doesn't exist. Okay, now let me clear the terminal. Let me show one more command to you. So for example, I just want to print the range of my set 1, 0 to -1, and this is A, C, D, E, and I want to add one more value here, so I will just add zadd, and I want to add this value to my set 1 and add the score 1, and I want to add, for example, A 5 times, and then press enter, and it returns me 1. That means the value for this score is now set to A instead of A, for example, right? So let me do a zrange once again, and you can see here the new value is added here, which is AAAA, right? And if you remember, the score of A was also 1, right? So let me give the same command now, which is Z score, and this time I want to just see the score of A, which is 1, and then I want to see the score of AAAA, which is also 1. So it's totally fine if you give same score to multiple values, right? So for example, I want to give one more value to this score, for example BBBB, and then press enter, and once again the range I want to see, this value is added, and then I want to see the score of BBBB, so BBBB, and you can see the score is still 1. Okay, so it's totally fine to have one score for multiple values. Now what happens to the rank here? So for example, Z rank for my set 1, so my set 1, and then BBBB, and the index here is 2. So this is how sorted set works. Now there is one more command, which is Z range by score, and then you can give the key name and then the score value, minimum score for example 1, and then the maximum score, for example I am going to give here 2, right? And then press enter, and I get here 3 values because there are 3 values associated with the score 1, and I think there was no score for 2, right? So no value was associated with 2. So let's see 1 to 4 for example, and now I can see these values and C also. So if you want to get values by the range of scores, then you can use Z range by score. Okay, so this is how you can use sorted sets in Redis. There are some more commands which are associated with sorted set. You can just search for them and then practice them, but these are some of the most frequently used command with the sorted set. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.